Hari Om, dear children. Today I would like to share with you a story from a set of books that I used to love as a child. And I'm sure you've all heard about this, read those books, enjoyed them, and those of you who have grown up now, I'm sure you always cherish those moments when you actually had a book called the Amar Chitra Katha with you and you enjoyed reading it. And I think Uncle Pai's contribution has been one of the best towards children's books and literature. So today I would like to share with you a story which has been taken by from the Buddhist lore, from the Buddhist fables, tales, and the name of the story is Nandi Vishala, and the story is about Nandi Vishala. Let us see who this Nandi Vishala is. Once upon a time, as every story begins, there was a young Brahmana boy, and this young Brahmana boy one day received a bull calf as a gift. Now, what's a bull calf? We all know what a calf is, right? The young one of a cow is called a calf. Well, the young one of a bull is also called a calf. So, when we say bull calf, it simply means it's a boy calf, right? So, this young boy got a gift, and that was the bull calf. And the young boy named this bull calf Nandi Vishala. So, now we know who Nandi Vishala is, right? So, they became the best of friends because he used to take the bull calf out for grazing, he would take care of it, he would massage it, give him the best food, he would take him to the best pastures for the greenest, the most tender grass that he could find. And this bull calf grew up to be a really strong bull. And at one point, the bull thought, my master has taken such good care of me. I must do something for him in return. I must give him back something that will make his life comfortable. And with this thought in mind, the bull calf went to the Brahmana boy and said, "Oh master, I have a suggestion for you. Why don't you go to the rich merchant and tell him that your bull can pull 100 loaded carts." This young boy, not very young anymore, grown up too, right? So this boy looked at his Nandi Vishala and said, "Am I dreaming? Huh? Or am I awake? Did Nandi Vishala actually speak? I never knew that bulls could speak." Then Nandi Vishala said, "Master, you're not dreaming. I am talking to you. And yes, you heard me right. Please go talk to that rich merchant and tell him that your bull is capable of pulling 100 loaded carts." Now this Brahmana boy looked at Nandi Vishala and asked, "Are you sure you can do this? Are you sure about this?" He said, "Yes, master. If I wasn't sure, why would I even suggest it to you?" Well, the Brahmana boy said, "Why not? Let me try my luck. I can definitely do with something from this whole deal." And Nandi Vishala said, "Master, take a bet and bet on a bag of 1,000 gold coins." The Brahmana boy looked at Nandi Vishala. "Are you absolutely sure? Because all I have with me as my savings is a bag of 1,000 gold coins." So Nandi Vishala looked at his master and said, "Master, don't worry. After this you will have 2 bags of 1,000 gold coins each." And yes, what does that mean? He will have 2,000 gold coins with him. Oh, the Brahmana boy was all thrilled and excited now. But he asked again, "Nandi Vishala, are you absolutely sure about this?" Nandi Vishala nodded and said, "Yes, master, absolutely." "All right," he said. And the next morning, the Brahmana boy went very confidently to the rich merchant's house. The rich merchant was sitting there and he wondered, who is this boy coming in? And he said, yes, what do you want? The boy said, oh merchant, I wanted to have a word with you. Oh sure, please come sit down, said the merchant. The Brahmana boy started speaking about bulls and he said, oh merchant, do you have bulls with you? And he said, what do you mean? Of course, I have some of the finest bulls. Oh, there are many bulls, of course, in the town, but mine are indeed the finest. Are they also the strongest? Asked this Brahmana boy. He said, why, of course they are. They are the strongest. What do you think? I feed them the best. So the Brahmana boy said, well, merchant, I too have a very strong bull, and I too have fed him the best grass and given him the best massage over all these years. And the boy said, I would like to take a challenge. My bull can pull 100 loaded carts. And what do I mean by loaded carts? You can put 100 kg rice bags, 10 of them in each of the carts, and line up 100 such carts, and my bull will drag it with ease, will pull it with ease. The merchant looked at him. Are you crazy, young man? No bull can ever do that. This boy said, well, I challenge you about it. Of course, it's possible. My bull can. The merchant looked at him and he said, okay, what's the bet? And the boy said, a bag of 1,000 gold coins. The merchant smiled and said, in some time that's going to be mine. All right, young Brahman boy, yes, okay, sure. Let's go ahead with this challenge. I accepted. Okay, so the carts were made ready. 100 carts, each had 10 bags of 100 kg rice in each bag. 100 carts loaded were ready, and the boy went back home and brought Nandi Vishala with him. Nandi Vishala came absolutely confident about what he had offered his master. And when the boy was standing next to Nandi Vishala, he started daydreaming. He said, very soon another bag of 1,000 gold coins will indeed be mine, and I will have 2,000 gold coins with me. And what will I do with those 2,000 gold coins? I'm going to buy some more bulls, of course, and feed them well, take good care of them, and have many more such competitions, win them, more money, more gold coins, and I will be the richest one in this town, and nobody would be able to match my wealth. This is what he kept thinking in his mind as he climbed the first cart to which Nandi Vishala was yoked. And he sat there and took his stick in his hand, and he started shouting rude words to Nandi Vishala. He said, hey, what is this? Why are you simply standing? Don't you know you're supposed to pull these carts? Come on, come on. And nothing happened. He said, you fool, what has come over you? Come on, go on, move. And he started calling him all sorts of names, rascal, fool, idiot, all these kind of bad words. Nandi Vishala was shocked. My master has never spoken such words to me. He has never called me such filthy words. He said, I am not going to move an inch, because this is indeed not my master sitting here and talking to me. And the master, the Brahmana boy, was getting all the more restless and irritated, and he kept yelling bad words. And no matter what he did, Nandi Vishala did not budge even a single inch. And the merchant was standing there and watching the whole thing. And he said, young man, drop it. This is not going to work. No bull can pull 100 such loaded carts. So let's just leave it. Give me the bag of 1,000 gold coins and go your way. This Brahmana boy was so upset with all that had happened. And he said, I shouldn't have agreed to this in the very first place. And he had to give all his savings, which was all about 1,000 gold coins. That was all he had as his savings. And he gave it to the merchant, took Nandi Vishala and went back home. And he was so quiet and upset all day, and at night he did not even have his dinner, and he went and laid down on his bed. Nandi Vishala came to his master and he said, "Master, are you asleep or are you awake?" The master, the Brahmana boy, said, "How can I sleep? Thanks to you, I just lost all my life savings." He said, "But master, tell me something. Why did you call me those names? Have I done anything wrong? Have I hurt anybody knowingly? Have I caused you any trouble at any point of time so far? Has there been anything that has been done by me that caused you unhappiness or anger?" The Brahmana suddenly realized what had happened. He looked at Nandi Vishala and said, Oh, my dear one, I am so sorry for all that I told you, all that I called you. I don't know what came over me. I think this whole idea of getting so much more gold coins corrupted my mind. And it made me say all these things. I didn't mean a single of those words, my dear Nandi Vishala. Nandi Vishala looked at Master and said, "Master, I knew it could not be you. You have never spoken like that to me before." "No problem, Master. Let's do the same thing again, and this time you take the challenge of 2,000 gold coins, and I promise you, you will win it. But please make sure that you don't call me any such bad words." The Brahmana boy looked at Nandi Vishala and said, "I'm extremely sorry for what I did, and I promise you this will never ever happen again. I will never call you or anybody else such words." Nandi Vishala said, "Thank you, Master, and I promise you that tomorrow you will win back 2,000 gold coins." And thus the Brahmin boy went to sleep peacefully. Next day he of course went back to the merchant, and the merchant laughed at his idea, but the boy said, "You may laugh as much as you like, but I am absolutely sure that today I will win it." "All right," said the merchant, and again the 100 carts were lined up. Nandi Vishala was yoked to the first one, and the master, the Brahmana boy, sat on that first cart, and this time he stroked Nandi Vishala with so much love and affection and said, "Yes, my dear Nandi Vishala, shall we go?" And Nandi Vishala looked back at his master as though smiling, and with his head held high, he walked. He pulled the 100 loaded carts, and he walked and walked and walked and walked until the last of the carts stood where the first cart initially stood. And the merchant who was watching this was awestruck, and he just sat down where he was. He said, "Oh my God, could any bull ever do this?" And when the Brahmana boy came to the merchant readily gave the 2 bags of 1,000 gold coins each and told that boy, "Oh, I am so impressed with this bull. I have never seen a bull that can do this." And said, "Very well deserved, O Brahmana boy." And he patted Nandi Vishala and said, "Very well deserved, dear bull." And the merchant went his way home. And Nandi Vishala and his master walked back happy, confident, and so affectionate to each other. They were indeed the best friends for a very long time till now, and they continued to be best friends forever. And the boy had learnt a great lesson. Speak nicely to anyone, whoever it may be, not just your best friend, but if you speak rudely to anybody, be sure that your work will never be done. And it's not about work being done. Isn't it nice to speak nicely to someone else? Of course, don't we like to speak nicely to ourselves? Similarly, we speak nicely to everybody. This is one of my favorite stories from the Amar Chitra Katha collection. And I hope you all enjoyed the story and happy reading. Do pick up the different titles, the thousands of titles of Amar Chitra Katha, and read them, enjoy them. There's lots of fun in them, there's lots of knowledge in them, there are lots of values hidden in those stories, and it's simply a joy to hold one of those books and read them. And no matter how old I might get, I don't think I'll ever stop reading the Amar Chitra Katha. Hari Om to all of you. Happy reading.